February has a lot of great things happening in the month. You think of things like the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl has now moved to February. It's been in February for a while, and that happens. But the big day everybody thinks of when it comes to February is Valentine's Day. It's a day that celebrates love and couples. For singles, it's not their favorite day of the year unless they want to be single. But Valentine's is known for the chocolate, for the flowers, for dates. It's a chance for guys to really try and impress the girl, take her on a nice romantic date. For married couples, it's a chance to remember why you fell in love. You know, what it's all about with your relationship. But the reality is, for most of us as men, is that we want to be wanted and loved by a woman. We just do. And that's how we were created. Men throughout history have really centered a lot of what they do in their life trying to impress a woman. You know, if you look back at some of the great inventions, it's probably men trying to impress a woman. So on today's show, we're going to give you 2 key tips. That's right, 2 key things to help you instantly become more attractive. This can help you if you're a single guy looking for, your mate, or if you're a married man and you want your wife to love you more. These are 2 things that I guarantee will help you. So let's jump in.
Welcome to the Confident Man Podcast, empowering men with the confidence they need to live their adventure. Now, here is your host, David Maxwell.
Hey guys, welcome to the Confident Man Podcast. I'm so glad you joined me here today. And we're excited because we're back on YouTube. We had some YouTube things coming up. And so if you prefer listening to the podcast on YouTube, go to David Maxwell Coaching. That's our YouTube channel. We've got some videos from the past we put up. I put the podcast on there, but I wasn't sure if people would really listen to it on YouTube, but I'm getting some input that a lot of people would like it there. So we're putting it back on YouTube just for you guys to catch it out. You can listen to the audio or you can watch it on YouTube, either way. Well, today we're going to be talking about Valentine's Day, and really not just Valentine's Day, but just the way we want women to be attracted to us as men. Every man wants a woman to be attracted to him, and every woman wants to feel like a man loves and adores her. And Valentine's Day is kind of like that. It's one of those days where we as men get a chance to try and impress a girl, take her out, do things like that. Now, my late wife, she liked Valentine's Day, mainly for the chocolate. She was not a flower person. She just didn't really care if she got flowers because in her mind, flowers are going to die. And she didn't really have a green thumb, neither do I, kill everything. But she wanted chocolate because she wanted the experience of the chocolate. So that was her thing. And for a while, I got her truffles, like chocolate truffles. She loved like Harry and David truffles, things like that. Now, we had some friends who, they loved Valentine's Day, mainly the wife. She saw Christmas as kind of something for the kids, but Valentine's Day was hers. And her husband, being the smart husband that he was, he saved the big gifts for Valentine's Day. He would get her something for Christmas, but he knew that wasn't her thing. He knew Valentine's Day was what it was all about. So if he got her jewelry or something really nice, he always waited till Valentine's Day because he was a smart husband. He knew how to love his wife. Now, Valentine's Day is for couples. It's for married people. You know, if you're a single guy, it could kind of bring a sense of depression to you. You kind of be like Goofy, the old Goofy movie, one of my favorites. It was really a great movie, very underrated. But the original Goofy movie, he always talked about being all alone, and I think sometimes guys get into that, oh, I'm just all alone. But, it's kind of one of those things. Men want to know, what can I do to get women to notice me? And the funny thing is we often do it in a way we think they'll notice us, but we're coming from a man's perspective. Now, getting women to notice us is not like elementary school. In elementary school, when you have a crush on a girl, you go up, you shove her, you punch her, and then you run off. And that's your way of showing, hey, I like you. The problem is we're supposed to mature out of that, but some guys kind of don't. I'm not saying they go up and shove a girl, but what a lot of guys do is they think, I'm going to become the friend of the girl. And so they befriend the girl. And that's not a bad thing. But sometimes when you're the guy friend, in the girl's mind, you get put into the friend zone. which the friend zone for a lot of girls has absolutely no attraction to it. So she's not going to be attracted to you. And that's why I really talk to guys. You can't really be friends with a girl. I mean, you should get along with a girl and like her and stuff, and y'all should be friends. I think friendship is a very important aspect of the relationship. But if you're looking for a relationship and not just a friend, you got to be careful or you're going to get friend zoned. And that's going to take out the possibility of a relationship. You know, of course, in movies, they have it where they're friends and then they fall in love with each other. That just doesn't happen that much in real life. And then for married men, Valentine's Day is kind of one of those days in the overwhelm of life, it kind of gets lost. And we don't want to do that as men. What we want to do is remind our wives why we married them, why we love them. And we want our wives to still be attracted to us. We don't want them just to see us as the guy who does this or does that, the guy who takes care of the odd jobs. So what we want to do is become more attractive to women, if you're single, to our wives, if you're married. And it does have bearings for both guys because both men can do things to become more attractive in those areas. And the two things we're going to talk about are we're going to talk about authenticity and we're going to talk about security. You've got to have those if you want women to find you more attractive. But what we're going to start off with is talk about why this fits for both single men and for married men. Okay, guys, the first thing we want to talk about is how being more attractive fits single men and married men. Now, single men want to be more attractive to women, and the reason why is pretty obvious. They're single. They don't want to be single anymore. They want to be with a woman. It's a natural drive we have in us as men. The biggest problem that a lot of guys have with this, though, is they come to the area of attractiveness from the male perspective. Now, men, we're very attracted physically. We look at the physical. We look at a woman and we're very attracted to her that way. And men are just more physical by nature. It's the way we're created. It's the way we are. So the looks of the woman become very important to the man. Now, women do notice looks too, but more often than not, they're more attracted to other things like the emotions, the mental side of men, kind of what they're made of more so than the physical. So men are more likely to go out and they want to get a girl, so they start working on themselves physically. Now, women will notice you physically, but eventually if they see that you don't have much else to you, if you're just someone who looks pretty, but you can't really relate, you can't really talk, they're not going to hang around. Women want a man who can relate emotionally. Now, it doesn't mean she doesn't want you to look good. Don't just let yourself go. But that's just the reality, and so what a lot of guys do is they're working, they want to get six-pack abs and they want to do this. And now some women will be attracted to that, but often they're not the very emotionally mature women. They can become problems. And some of you have had that happen. Maybe a woman has been attracted to you, you start dating her, and she has some real issues. And those issues become your issues, and you're like, oh, I didn't sign up for this. So what you want to do is you want to kind of become the person who attracts a higher quality of woman, a woman who emotionally is solid, but she wants an emotionally solid man. She doesn't want a man who just has a bicep or two. She wants a man who is more than just his physical attributes. And so what you do is you work on, you want to be physically fit just to be a better man. But women are more attracted to the other sides, and those are the sides that sometimes we forget to work on. Like I said, the emotional, the mental, the spiritual side. Those sides will actually make you more attractive to women. That's why sometimes, have you ever seen the couples? It's a guy and a woman, and the woman is just absolutely beautiful, and the guy's okay, and you're like, wait, that's not fair. And you kind of look at it and you're like, what did he do? How did he get her? He outkicked his coverage. And guys will notice that because we think it's a one-to-one. We think physical attracts physical. And that can happen, but it's usually not how it happens. Women are more attracted to men who kind of have that emotional side, that spiritual side, that mental side. So that's what we have to understand. For single men, they need to work on all those other sides. Now, for the smart married man, what he has to do is work on staying attractive to his wife. What he wants to do is understand that his relationship is a journey, not a race. When a man understands that his marriage is a journey, then he knows that when he first get married, that's just the beginning. It's not a, hey, I got it, I'm done. It's, hey, I'm going to keep going, because every marriage gives you the opportunity to go to deeper and deeper levels of intimacy if you're willing to do the work. And the man and the woman should both continue to grow, develop their full potential, because when they do that, then the couple can go to new levels of intimacy together. And that's the goal. And that's why married men, when I say you need to be more attractive to your wife, what that means is you're going to keep growing and becoming a better version of you. And as she does that, then both of you can grow together. It's just the way it is. You know, growing the relationship is an intentional effort. It doesn't happen by accident. And what that does is it helps us grow as men. We become better. You see, as men go deeper in a relationship, that means they have to understand themselves more and they have to grow more, which matures them. And that's just why it is. Men do a lot better when they're challenged. And what they do is they want to remain challenged by their relationship. And when they seek to become more attractive to their wife, what they're doing is they're challenging themselves to grow, to be better. And what that means is the marriage will keep growing. The problem with a lot of married people today is they're so focused on life, they forget that they have a relationship. You know, they're good at raising kids, paying bills, doing this, doing that, and all those things are necessary. But that's not the point of your relationship. Your relationship is to be growing together, to get closer to each other, to have higher levels of intimacy together. And you say, oh, Dave, that's not going to work. That doesn't happen. Yeah, because people aren't intentionally doing it. And I blame men. Men are the leaders. Men are the ones who should step up and lead in the relationship. And that means men should continue to chase their wives. They should continue to chase them relationally, to grow closer to them. Because as men get a deeper relationship with their wife, listen to this, as they get a deeper relationship with their wife, they're going to have a better relationship with their children. The reason a lot of men don't have a good relationship with their children is because they don't have a better relationship with their wife. They're partners. They've learned how to do life together. Hey, that's what you do. This is what I do. And that's fine. You got to do that. You spread out what you do, but you're a couple. And men should continue to be more attractive to their wife, which means they should keep growing. Because as a man gets closer to her, he'll be able to have a closer relationship with his children. You see, the wife will love you and respect you more as you grow closer to her. Your children will love and respect you more because they see you loving their mom. And that's just the way it is. And that's what we have to do the work. It doesn't mean you're going to be perfect. No man is perfect. None of us are. So quit trying that. You're not like a movie person. That's just not real. That's someone writing for them. So what we want to do as married men is continue to be attractive to our wife, because that means we're growing closer to them. That's why becoming more attractive fits both the single guy and the married guy. Okay, so now that we've covered that, let's talk about the 2 keys to becoming more attractive that both of these men can do. The second thing we want to talk about is how we need to go on the authentic journey. It's just what we have to do. Men have got to go on the authentic journey if they want to realize their own full potential as men, if they want to become more attractive to women. And this means a guy has got to develop his real self. And when I say his real self, I mean the genuine part of who we are as men. Now, for a lot of guys, that's hard because men are really good at wearing masks. You know that. You've known guys who they'll change depending on who they're around. They wear one mask around this group, one mask around that group. And what they do is they look at the situation and say, who do I need to be? Who do I need to be to get a hold of this situation? And then they'll morph into that person. It's crazy, but we're good at it. It happens especially with guys who date a bunch of women. These are the guys who they'll figure out what she wants in a man and they become that man. That's not who they really are. And that's the wild part of it, is they're just morphing themselves to become a caricature so they can get sex. A lot of times that's how guys are. So they're wearing those masks. And the problem is guys will do that so much. They'll wear so many masks that they don't know who they really are. They don't know what they're all about. So for a man to be authentic is hard. It's hard work. But the truth is, authenticity is attractive to women. It just is. Women want a guy who's genuine, a guy who knows his abilities, his reactions. He's real. He's himself. She doesn't want to have to read you and try to figure you out because that's extra work. She wants to know that the way you're acting, who you are, is who you really are. That's why women sometimes, when a man hurts her, she can have trust issues of other men because she was around a guy maybe who wore a mask and she thought he was genuine, but he was playing a game. And what we want to do as men is work hard to become authentic so they can see that we are who we are. We take our mask off. We're our genuine self. Because a man's authentic self, your real self, will attract the type of woman who you're going to naturally be attracted to. That's the beauty of it. When we're authentic as men, we attract the women who are attracted to that type of authenticity. So in other words, you're going to naturally gravitate to the women who will naturally fit you better. The truth is, there's lots of women out there, but there's only a few who fit you right. I'm not saying every person only has one person. That's just not true. But you want to get those who fit you better. And if you don't know who you are, how are you going to know what type of woman you like? And how are you going to naturally attract the women that you would fit the best with? You do that by just being yourself. And that's what we have to do. Now, a lot of guys, they morph to chase the woman. Now, sometimes that's not necessarily bad when you're motivated to grow and change and become more of who you are. See, women can challenge us as men. We can see a woman of quality and saying, okay, I need to step up my game to attract a woman like that. And what that means is you have to grow, you have to develop. That's not wrong. A lot of guys have done that. They stepped up their game, they invented things, they changed the world to try and impress a woman. But what you're doing is you want to become more of who you are to show her who you are, not to morph who you are to capture her, to win the girl. I've won the prize. What that is manipulation. And what you're doing that as a man, you're just losing yourself. You're losing yourself. You're playing a part. And what women want is an authentic man. The more authentic you are, the more attractive you'll be. And the more attractive you'll be to the right type of woman for you. And an authentic man knows pretty much who he is. He's got a good bearing on himself. Like a guy who's authentic knows his strengths. And that's what we want to do as men. We want to know, hey, what am I good at? And that's not to be cocky. That's not to be I'm better than everybody else. But you know what? You're good at stuff. You do things naturally that other people have to work hard at. You may have worked on your skills and gotten better and better. There's nothing wrong with being confident as a man. Women are attracted to that. But it's not just the confidence. It's the attitude of I know what my strengths are. And it's very different because cockiness comes from insecurity. Confidence comes from security. When you're strong, we're going to talk about security in just a few, but it's okay for you to acknowledge you're good at stuff. It's okay for you to go, I can do this. I can do this well. And a lot of men feel bad about that, so they don't say anything. They don't act in their strengths when you should. You should act in your strengths. That's part of you being authentic. It doesn't mean you're better than everybody, but you're probably better than a lot because you have strengths. Every man has strengths. So you want to own your strengths. Say, hey, this is who I am. That's part of you being authentic. Now, on the flip side, every man is weak in the areas. Every man has areas that just get him. Even Superman has kryptonite. And it's amazing. Every Superman movie or comic book or whatever, somehow kryptonite ends up. One planet blew up and kryptonite's all over the place. And it kind of messes with Superman. You have your kryptonite. And you know what? You need to know what that is. You need to know what you're weak in, because that's being authentic. You have tendencies that can hurt you, and you want to know what those are. You may have a weakness to something, like you may have a weakness to alcohol. You may have a weakness to pornography. These are things you want to know about yourself, and then you can work within them. You may have a weakness for something small, like you tend to overeat at night after 8 p.m. I don't know, but you just want to know what it is. Every man is strong in areas, and every man is weak in areas. You want to know what you're weak at. You want to know those things that can take you out, because that's what authenticity is. You're real. Authentic men want a real relationship. They don't want just sex. They just don't. You say, well, I like sex. Well, we're men. We're supposed to like sex. It's the way we're designed. In fact, God designed sex. A lot of people forget that. They think sex is something we invented. He invented it, and he wants us to flourish in it. And so there's nothing wrong with wanting sex, but you've got to understand the best sex is going to be in a monogamous relationship with one woman. It just is. Study after study have shown people who have the best sex lives are the people who are married and stay married. They don't have anything to compare it to. And you know what? They can be authentic to each other. They can be real. And a man who's authentic wants a real relationship. Men who sleep around and have sex with a bunch of people, they're acting more animal-like. And so they're not getting into a relationship. And the problem is a lot of these guys don't know how to have a deep relationship. So even if they want to get into a deep relationship, they don't know how. They get hurt. And a lot of times the women they're sleeping with get hurt too. So they don't want to have a deep relationship because they've been hurt. Being authentic as a man, what that means is that you are becoming more in tune with yourself. You know who you are, you know your strengths, you know your weaknesses, and you want something that's genuine with another person. We see, the famous people, getting married, getting divorced, getting married, getting divorced. What they're doing is they just want a genuine relationship with someone else, but they're having a hard time to find it. And the reason is many of them don't know how to be authentic. They play parts. And what we want to do as men is not play parts. We want to be ourselves. When you know who you are, and guess what? You're growing. You're not just stuck. You're not just saying, this is who I am, I'll never change. No, you should change. You should grow. In fact, 10 years from now, you should be a different person in a lot of ways because you've grown. And that's what authentic men do. Authentic men present themselves to women as, hey, this is who I am, but I'm also growing and changing. That excites a woman, especially a woman of quality. And that's the kind of woman you want. The more authentic you are, whether you're single or whether you're married, the more attractive you'll become to women, especially to the women who fit you the best. The third area we want to talk about is security. And I call security the secret sauce of relationships. It really is. A man who is secure will have better relationships. All types of relationships will be better because he's secure in who he is. And if you look really throughout history, you see that a lot of men who were the most destructive, men who, led countries but murdered thousands of people and did all these things, horrible things, most of them were insecure men. You see, a lot of men live with this insecurity, so they seek to prove themselves. I'm going to show everybody what I can be. Those men usually are hurt. They don't know, they're not authentic, and they're trying to prove they got this fake bravado. And so what they do is they seek more power, more money, more fame, more women. They do all of these things. Why? To prove themselves. Men who have to prove themselves are insecure. Men who are secure don't have to prove themselves. They know who they are. They don't go from woman to woman to woman trying to find themselves as a man. Oh, I slept with 50 women. Okay, so you slept with 50 women. What does that make you? Does that make you a better man? It's not. You see, you're insecure. So those women, those relationships are your way of trying to prove to yourself that you're a man. Any man can sleep with a woman, but a man who's secure can build a relationship with one woman. And that's what security does for men. It takes us out of that rat race of trying to prove ourselves. We become secure in who we are. We become secure in what we do. Because one of the biggest weaknesses in men today is insecurity. It just is. There's a number of reasons why. I can't get into them all, but the biggest thing that I've seen over the years is that so many men grew up with no example. They either didn't have a dad in the home, or their dad wasn't a good example to them of what a man should be. There was no good role model. And a lot of men grew up without a role model, so they're trying to figure it out themselves. They don't know. So they watch a movie. Is that what a man is? They watch porn. Is that what a man is? They hang around other people who seem powerful to them, so they're attracted to that. That's why, gangs cause a lot of young men to come into it because it gives them a male role model to follow. It's not a good role model, but it's one. And what we have to do is learn how to be secure in who we are. And what we have to do as men is recognize if we are dealing with insecurity. If we have insecurity in our life, it's going to make us less attractive to good quality women. We've got to recognize that because insecure men don't attract strong, secure women. They just don't. If you're an insecure man, most of the time, strong, secure woman like the one you want is not going to be attracted to you. She's not going to want to be around you. A lot of times, guys who are insecure attract insecure women. It's just the way it is. I used to do youth camps, and it was amazing to me how, you have this guy who's insecure from this part of the state, this girl who's insecure from this part of the state. Within an hour of being at camp, they found each other and fallen in love. It's amazing how that happens. But it happens to adults all over the place. It happens to men and women all across the country. Insecure attracts insecure. Now, if a man is insecure, but he somehow attracts a secure, strong woman, unfortunately, a lot of times he abdicates his leadership role in the relationship and lets her be the boss, the leader, the mom. And you don't want to marry your mom. You don't want to be married to your mom. You want to marry a woman who's strong and secure, and you want to be strong and secure. You know why? Because that's the way relationships were designed. And that's what you want to be. Because she's going to respect you, you're going to respect her, and that's going to blossom a great relationship with kids. All of those things will happen. You won't have the issues that insecurity brings into a relationship. So what you want to do as a man is become more secure. Become more secure in who you are. It makes us better men anyway. So why not do it? And you'll have better relationships. If you're married, you'll become a better husband. If you're single, you'll attract better women. It's just the way it is. Men were designed to live secure. And you as a man want to walk in your God-given purpose. And why not become more attractive to women while you're at it? So security is a good thing. And for men, security, some of the reasons it helps us is it gives us our own minds. When you're secure in who you are, you know what you think. You know what you feel. You're confident in that. And you can understand yourself and explain it to people. Men who are insecure don't know what they think and feel. But men who are secure can think. They can connect deeply and emotionally with other people. And that's highly attractive to women, especially quality women, because they want a close, intimate connection. And if they look at you as a man who knows what he thinks, he knows what he feels, he has his own mind, then she sees that as something that's attractive. It doesn't mean you can't change your mind, but you know what you think. You're willing to express how you feel. That's a secure man. A lot of men aren't secure. They don't know. You say, how are you feeling? I don't know. I feel hungry. And that's a lot of times because men don't work on growing themselves and what they think and how they feel. Secure men can stand against outside pressure. It just is. Secure men will take a stand. This is right. this is wrong. And that's just what we've had throughout history. We've seen secure men are the ones who lead a lot of times. Now, insecure men can lead too, and that's dangerous, but we want secure men. Secure men aren't so quick to give in to outside pressure. They have to be convinced, but they're willing even to stand alone if it's unpopular. They're saying, this is the right thing to do. I'm going to stand by it. That's what secure men do. Insecure men, they're really good at reading the room. They're kind of looking around and seeing, okay, what do people think? What's the temperature? Insecure men a lot of times go into politics because politicians are great at reading the room. And they do that sometimes better than they know their own personal convictions. What is your personal conviction? I don't know. What's the room say? You know, they kind of, okay, let me put my finger up in the air. What's the temperature? You don't want to be that way. You want to be a man who's secure. Women are attracted to men who are secure and stand for something. That's what you want. You want a quality woman. You have to be a quality man. You see, when you're a man of passion, you're aiming your passion towards something bigger than yourselves. When you're secure, you're doing it for the cause and not to feel better about yourself. That's attractive to women. These type of men are less likely to be narcissistic. They're less likely to be self-focused because they know I can take a stand. I know what I think and believe. And what happens is security also gives us power over the battle of perfection. Secure men understand that they aren't perfect. Secure men understand they don't have to be perfect, but they're willing to learn and grow. Are you willing to learn and grow as a man? You see, a lot of men don't want people to know their weaknesses because their identity is based on trying to present this perfection to everybody. When a man is secure in himself, he understands that he's not always going to be perfect, and that's okay. He is who he is. Now, he's still willing to grow and learn, and he is doing that, but he understands that I'm not going to do everything right. Secure men can laugh at themselves. They don't take themselves so seriously. They can enjoy life. And this shows deep emotional intelligence in men. When you're secure and you understand you're not perfect, it shows that you're emotionally connected. And women will be incredibly attracted to that. They will. They'll be incredibly attracted to that. If you know who you are and you understand that, hey, I'm growing, but I'm not perfect. It brings a realistic approach to life, and that attracts women to you. So you've got to understand, guys, it's not that you have to act like you're perfect. You just need to be yourself. And you need to be growing and be secure in who you are. It's just the way it is. And secure men have a propensity to growth. When a man is secure, he wants feedback. Feedback helps you get better. When you're secure, you say, hey, tell me what I did that was good. Tell me what I did that was bad. How can I improve? Secure men do that. Insecure men don't want feedback. They don't want anyone to say anything to them because it hurts their feelings, because it hurts their identity. Secure men know, okay, it may hurt a little bit when you tell me that, but it's going to make me better as a man. That's a secure man. He understands there will be hurt, but it doesn't take away his identity. And that's what you want to do as a man, is become secure in your identity. You don't want to be a guy who knows it all. Nobody likes the guy who knows it all. You want to be a man who's secure. And when you are, then you'll be humble. And that humility is appealing to women. It just is. Because they'll look at you as a man who's not going to get stuck and become an adult adolescent. You know, the guy who's in his 30s, 40s, 50s, and still acts like a teenager. Those men are insecure, and they're stuck in that adolescent realm. And you want to be a man who's growing, because you'll be attracted to women who are of a higher quality, and they're going to want a man like that. So that's the way you want to be. The truth is, security is the secret sauce of attraction. It just is. When we become more secure as a man, we become more attractive to women. When a husband becomes more secure as a man, he's a better husband. He's a better father. It will increase the passion his wife has for him. When a single man becomes a secure man, he will instantly open up more doors to higher quality women in his life. He'll be less attractive to insecure women and more attractive to the secure quality women. All right, guys, closing out the show today, let's understand that becoming more attractive to women is the thing that should motivate us to be better men. You know, authenticity and security is going to make you a better man. It just is. Whether you're in a relationship or not, it's going to make you a better man. So why not move in those? Why not become more authentic? Why not become more secure? Because it boils down to the truth that when you become a better man, when you become the man you were designed to be, you'll become more attractive to women. You just will. If you wear masks and you live with insecurity, you're going to be less attractive. You say, well, I've got plenty of women, Dave. Yeah, but they're probably not the women you build a life with. They're probably insecure. And what you want to do is become a better man, because then you'll attract a better woman. It's just the way it is. Bulging biceps and six-pack abs, they're great, but it only goes so far with women. It's only going to attract certain type of women. Quality women want a quality man. They just do. And you want to be a man of quality. You want to be a man of quality apart from attracting women, but why not get the fringe benefit of your growth? Why not grow and become a quality man? And I guarantee you, if you're single, you're going to attract a better quality woman. And if you're married, your wife is going to be much more passionate about her relationship with you. It's just the way it is. Increase your quality and you'll be amazed. I promise you how much better life gets overall. Because as men, we want to be the way we were designed. We want to develop ourselves. And when you do that as a man, when you're more authentic, when you're more secure, you're going to have a better life and you're going to live your purpose.
You've been listening to the Confident Man Podcast. Click subscribe so you don't miss a future episode. You can connect with David on Facebook and Instagram at David the Maxwell. Find resources to help you as a man at theconfidentman.me. That's theconfidentman.me.